Al-Qasim. Al-Qasim was the first child and eldest son of the Prophet Muhammad. He was born in Mecca to Khadijah, the Prophet's first wife. Because of him, the Prophet became known by the honorable title Abu al-Qasim, meaning the father of Al-Qasim. Very little is known about his short life because he passed away while still a young child, before the beginning of the Prophet's public mission. His death was one of the earliest personal losses the family experienced.
Abdullah. Abdullah was another son of the Prophet Muhammad and Khadijah. Some historical reports also refer to him by the names Al-Tayyib or Al-Tahir, although many scholars believe these were titles rather than separate names. Like his older brother, Abdullah died in early childhood. His passing meant that none of the Prophet's sons lived to adulthood, something that his opponents later mocked. The Quran responded to these insults by declaring that it was the Prophet's enemies whose legacy would be cut off, not his.
Zaynab. Zaynab was the eldest daughter of the Prophet Muhammad and Khadijah. She grew up in Makkah before Islam was openly preached and later accepted the new faith with her family. She married Abu al-As ibn al-Rabi, a respected merchant who did not become Muslim immediately. For several years, the couple lived apart because of the growing conflict between Makkah and Medina. Eventually, Abu al-As accepted Islam, and the family was reunited. Zaynab passed away during the Prophet's lifetime, leaving behind the memory of her patience and loyalty through difficult times.
Ruqayyah. Ruqayyah was one of the Prophet's daughters and became the wife of Uthman ibn Affan. Together, they were among the first Muslims to migrate to Abyssinia, seeking safety from persecution in Mecca. Later, they settled in Medina. During the Battle of Badr, Ruqayyah became seriously ill, and Uthman stayed behind to care for her instead of joining the army. She passed away on the same day the Muslims achieved their victory at Badr. Her life is remembered for sacrifice, faith, and endurance during the earliest years of Islam.
Kulthum. Kulthum was another daughter of the Prophet Muhammad and Khadijah. After the death of her sister Ruqayyah, she married Uthman ibn Affan, making him the only man in history to marry two daughters of a prophet. Because of this unique honor, Uthman became known as Dhu an-Nurayn, meaning the possessor of two lights. Kulthum lived in Medina and remained close to her father until her death, which also occurred before the Prophet passed away.
Fatimah. Fatimah was the youngest daughter of the Prophet Muhammad and is one of the most respected women in Islamic history. She was known for her kindness, modesty, and deep devotion to God. She married Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin, and together they had Hassan, Hussein, Zaynab, and Kulthum. Through Hassan and Hussein, many of the Prophet's descendants continued. Fatimah remained especially close to her father throughout his life, caring for him during some of the most difficult moments of his mission. She was the only one of his children to outlive him, but only by about 6 months before she also passed away.
Ibrahim. Ibrahim was the youngest child and last son of the Prophet Muhammad. Unlike the Prophet's other children, his mother was Maria al-Qibtiyya, who came from Egypt and later lived in Medina. Ibrahim's birth brought great happiness to the Prophet after many years without a surviving son. However, he became ill and died while still an infant. The Prophet openly wept over his son's death, showing that grief and faith can exist together. On the day Ibrahim died, a solar eclipse occurred, and some people believed the event happened because of his death. The Prophet corrected them, explaining that the sun and moon do not eclipse because of anyone's birth or death, but are signs of God. This moment became an important lesson against superstition, while also revealing the Prophet's honesty and humility.